Kenneth Swartz, 2799 Frontage Road. As maybe you know, I guess we're getting ready to do a new chief of police. And I want to bring to the attention of the councilors that as a matter of record, city council minutes, when Chief Fandry died here a few years back, Jonathan had stated here in front of everyone, and I checked the records, and he promised that because of the problem we had with Chief Fandry, which the new chief and Jonathan both admitted was just an abomination anyhow.
That's not an accurate statement.
Anyhow, Jonathan gave his word, and so much of the trust has been broke down over these issues, which I believe are a moral hazard. I tried going to local ministers, trying to get some help with this about what I was seeing going on with many of our police officers. So I would like to suggest to you guys, in transparency, that men are only as good as their word. And I try to keep my word, and I believe that the only thing that should be allowed to be done in transition of Jonathan and the chief heading other areas is to possibly install Tom as an interim chief who has done this in the past, and I'm quite shocked that I'm even saying this right now, but anyhow, the point being is, I think based on Jonathan's word and you guys being responsible for the last 5 or 6 years with Jonathan, that before we hire anybody, that we just install Tom in an interim position, which he has a history of producing and rising to that occasion. And after this citizens committee is arranged with the same number of you, like Jonathan promised, then we can all interview for a new chief of police. We cannot afford to move hastily with this and be left with something that we need to correct. And moving on, this U.S. Department of Justice letter that warns people about lawsuits, I find the need to inform you guys that for the last few years, I've been organizing a class action lawsuit against Douglas County for all these sites going to foreign jurisdictions that you guys have refused to help in stopping. And in that, I got a call from a lawyer, Willow Hill, who is now assembling names, naming the city in a class action lawsuit for a Title 42 USC deprivation of rights under color of law, violations of due process, which there is no statute of limitations. You know, back when we were a mayoral form, I would come in here and serve paperwork about these crimes that police were committing here in town because they were responsible. With the city manager form, you guys haven't, obviously, there's one of two issues here. Either you guys are all looking at me laughing underneath your breath going, oh, we know, or you really don't understand the things that we have reported to Jonathan over the years. So please do not move forward in hiring a new chief of police. Please consider installing Tom as an interim in the process, that we might give our full attention and that Jonathan honor his word and not pick someone before he leaves. One other thing, I did notice somebody has a blue line flag. I've spoke to you about the blue line flag. And under the circumstances with the moral hazard we're suffering here, when I see these flags where they put a blue line through there, what that means is boys will be boys. It means no matter what you do, you don't narc your brothers out. You do not narc off another police officer. They will defend themselves to the end. For crying out loud, we put clergy in jail and prosecute them. Why don't we do that? Why do our police have a higher standing in court as to not go to jail? Anyhow, thanks for listening. I do want to mention another thing about the blue line. Our past chief that had died. One of the reasons we knew that this situation with the thin blue line protecting people is when police officers become violent to their wives, That's how my daughter met Beth Fandry, because she had used her personal phone for a suicide hotline. To close this off, have any of you realized how many suicides we've had here over the last few months? How about the last 20 years? And how much of effect does the way our police behave on the street encourage that? Thank you very much for your time. By the way, I would like to offer one other thing. I come in here now when you guys aren't the responsible authority, and he is, hoping to keep you guys from getting sued. I'm not here threatening to sue. I'm here trying to help Steve, going, hey, look, these are ways that you can be sued, and I think we can all agree we can't afford to get sued. Certainly not with an $80,000 bond.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Rob Taylor?